Hi, welcome. Simon here, and I hope you're doing well. Here I have the MSI Gaming Laptop. In this video, I'll be walking you through step by step on how to disassemble, or maybe you want to do an upgrade on your M.2 drive, on your RAM, maybe change out the battery or the CPU fan, things like that, and you're gonna find this video. I'll walk you through step by step on how to do so. Alright, so the first thing I like to do is to identify your laptop. You can turn it around. Make sure that if you have the same model as mine, is MSI GS66 Stealth. That is the model of the laptop. And let's go ahead, or maybe you want to look it up here as well. It's a MS-16V1. Alright, so the first thing we need to do is to remove all the screws and get yourself a Phillips screwdriver. I'll be using the electric screwdriver here. So there is a factory seal. There's a factory seal label right here, and the hidden screw is underneath the plastic seal. You need to break the seal or go through the seal and remove that one screw right there. Okay, once you have removed all the screws, the next step is to remove the back cover. And the back cover sometimes may be quite challenging to remove because they have the clipper that latch onto to each other to hold on to the back cover. My suggestion is to work from the top right corner and you try to dig it underneath the in between that little line right there between the exhaust fan and the back cover. So let's go ahead and separate the back cover here. Once you have your fingernail holding onto the back cover, I like to use a plastic screw prying tool. This plastic prying tool is a lot easier and it doesn't scratch or damage the cover. Alright, once you have removed the back cover, you can see that the CPU fan is exposed, and if you see a lot of dust or linens or stuff like that get clogged out on the fan, this is the best time for you to get the A-can duster or maybe a brush just to brush off and clean off the CPU fan. You want to have a clean fan blade, therefore you can, the computer would stay cool a lot better. Now let's go ahead and disconnect the battery. So this bottom here is your battery part, and you can just slide the connector down towards the body. Just slide it down. Sometimes it can be quite difficult to do so. What you want to do is one is to push the connector down, the other one is to pull the connector as well. So push and pull, and that's how you disconnect the plastic connector. The next step is to remove the battery. So there are 3 screws that holds onto the battery, and once you remove the 3 screws, the entire battery will just pop right out. Now if your battery is not holding the charge, or if you take a look at the battery and your battery has lump or swollen, like a little big lump on it, meaning that the battery needs to be replaced, and it is dangerous to use a broken battery. It may catch fire. Alright, so let's go ahead and identify the model here. The battery is BTY M6M. And if you like to know where to find the battery or get a replacement, I will always link in the description below. I'll link them where you can directly go to Amazon or eBay for the replacement battery. All right, let's move on to the next part I'd like to talk about is your storage. This is your M.2 M.2 SSD drive, and this is the storage for all your C drive, your data, everything is stored in this M.2 drive. Once you have removed the screw, gently lift it up. I know it's kind of hard to lift up because there is, let me remove the plastic tape, because there is a thermal pad. This is what we call the thermal pad, this little thick thing. The thermal pad conducts the heat, bringing the heat from the M.2 drive onto the motherboard, right? So this one is to conduct the heat. It gets very sticky, therefore you might have hard time lifting it up. So just lift gently, enough pressure, and then slide it to your right to remove it. Okay, so this is the M.2 drive. If you try to recover the data off of the I recommend you to go ahead and buy this USB adapter. What it does is that you can just slide it into the adapter like so. Okay, so once slide it in, and then you can go ahead and plug it into any computer, any USB computer, any Windows computer, and you can recover your information if you're planning to recover your data. Again, I got this from Amazon. I'd like to share the link with you if you're interested to buy. And for those of you who wants to increase the capacity, let's just say this is the 2 TB M.2 drive. Your original is too small for you. You want to increase to a bigger one. You can always get that, transfer the data, install the Windows, and go ahead and get yourself a larger M.2 drive. Okay, that's enough being said. Let's move on to the next part. And we'd like to talk about the DDR4 RAM. So you have one here and the second here. So it's 8 and 8 up to 16 gigs. You can actually max it out to 32 by installing 16 and 16. Okay, so those are DDR4 RAM. You can upgrade them as you wish. So again, if you plan to upgrade your M.2 drive, I would suggest you to maybe go ahead and get yourself a secondary, because they do have a secondary slot right here. You can install the two M.2 drive for this C drive and D drive capacity. All right, this is your Wi-Fi card. Let's go ahead and remove that antenna. So you see this little red marker. I'm just going to say the red is on the right, without the red is on the left. Okay, here is your speaker. So go ahead and slide the connector to your right. And the speaker is connected to your left and runs along this wire, white and black, to your right speaker. Okay, so this one connector split the speaker on both sides. This is your CMOS battery. The CMOS battery is the one that holds down the time and date on your laptop. If you want to flush the BIOS, you can unplug the CMOS battery. Now I'm going to work on the heatsink. So the heatsink is this one. All right, so once you have the heatsink detached from the motherboard, you want to be very careful with the CPU fan cables. They are not disconnected yet. So what you want to do is to slide the cable away from you by pushing it in that direction. So there are two cables on for this left fan, and we're going to work on the right fan by sliding the cable to your right. Sorry, by sliding the connector to your right. That's how you remove it. And there you go, the entire heatsink with the CPU fan and a graphics card fan is removed. So take this opportunity to go ahead and clean an egg can duster, dust off the fan, and this that should help to cool off your computer. Now you see this little like the what do you call the thermal pads. Those are what we call the thermal pads, and they kind of like dried up a little bit and cracked. So what you want to do is you can clean off the thermal pad and apply with the new ones. And this is what we call the thermal paste. So you can see that the thermal paste is all dried up. And what I recommend you to do is to get yourself like the alcohol wipes and go ahead and wipe off the dry thermal paste and apply with the new thermal paste here and just put it on top. Okay. So I'm going to do that afterwards, but I just like to walk through the entire process on how to you know, remove everything here. So once you have that disconnected, now we're going to work on the connector, the flex cable. So make sure you open up that clipper and slide the cable away from you. So slide it to that direction. Okay, there's one cable right there. And there's one cable right here. This is for your LCD screen. Make sure you open up the clipper. The tape is open first. Open up the clipper, and now you can slide the LCD cable away from you by sliding to that direction. I know that they tape it down a little bit, so you may have some difficulty to slide. Okay. That's for the LCD screen. Let's see. We try to remove the motherboard, right? I guess all the connection for your keyboard and the touchpad is on the other side of the motherboard. So we try to be careful when we remove the motherboard. But first we need to remove the screws. Two screws holding down to the motherboard. I believe there are two screws, or maybe more than two screws, sorry. There's one right here. So three screws holding down to the motherboard. And now, once I lift it up, oh, I see it. Okay, I have to apologize. This is your keyboard. We probably have to disconnect the keyboard first from this side. And this is the touchpad. I did not see the tape right here is covering up. So let's go ahead and remove this tape. Slide open the connector and slide that keyboard out. Now there is still keyboard holding down to it. Like I said, it's on the other side right here. And the touchpad is also holding down from this part. You see that? This little cable right here. When I flip the motherboard, I think I pull the cable, but that's okay. I did not see any damage here. But what it is you need to install this touchpad flex cable into the connector first. Okay, now this is your keyboard right here. You need to disconnect the keyboard as well, but first you need to remove this tape. Everything is taped down, so you just have to be very careful when you pull the tape, because you do not want to yank the connector. Okay, you do not want to break the connector. Oh well, anyway, this is what it is. You can see it already. The keyboard is not replaceable. The reason why, because the punch down right here, all these little black dots, is a punch down keyboard, meaning that the keyboard is built into the system, and you just have to replace the entire cover. So to do that, you just have to remove the motherboard, right, which we almost did to removing the motherboard here. And then the next step is for you to unscrew these 3 little screws, and you just replace the entire keyboard. By looking here on this screen, this little screw, they're very tiny and fragile. So if you have a broken LCD screen or the hinge is broken, I think this is the reason why. It's a manufacturer flaw that they make the screw so tiny and thin, and the screen sometimes can get too heavy when you open and close too much, and this is where the hinge get broke off. Most of the time I can see it happens. But other than that, this is it. Hopefully the video is helpful. I know that I did not remove the motherboard entirely. I apologize for that. But if you have any question, comment below. You know that I read your comments and I'll try to answer those questions for you. And always, if you find the video is helpful, please do not forget to like, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. I would really appreciate you for subscribing it. And do not forget to hit the notification bell as well. Okay, so again, I hope that you learned something today. And if you find the video is helpful, repeat myself again, do not forget to click the like button. Thanks for watching. Wish you all the best. Bye now.